A passenger train that derailed, killing 3 people, was traveling at 80 miles per hour, 130 kilometers per hour, on a curve with a speed limit of 30 miles per hour, data from the train's rear engine indicates. It happened in Washington state during rush hour on Monday, and officials say 72 people were taken to hospital. A number of those injured are reported to be in a serious condition. Authorities said all carriages had now been searched, but would not rule out a rise in the number of dead. A spokeswoman for the National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, said investigators had arrived at the scene on Monday night local time, and would probably be there for a week or 10 days. Bella Dinh-Zarr said the 12-carriage train had engines at the front and rear.The back engines. Data recording had been retrieved, she said, and preliminary indications are that the train was traveling at 80 miles per hour on a 30 miles per hour track. Our hearts go out to everyone who was affected by this very tragic accident, she said. Passengers say the train rocked and creaked as it took the bend fast, before barreling off the bridge onto a motorway packed with traffic. Seven vehicles, 2 of them lorries, were hit on the I-5 highway below. Several people were injured in their vehicles, but none died. State transport spokesperson Barbara LaBoe was quoted in the Seattle Times newspaper as saying the limit on most of the track was 79 miles per hour, 128 kilometers per hour, but drivers were supposed to slow dramatically at the spot where the train derailed. She said warning signs were in place 2 miles before the lowered limit.It was Amtrak's first passenger service to run on a new shorter route. Amtrak is the name of the company that runs most passenger trains in the U.S., with some government funding. The derailment happened on a section of track previously only used for freight trains. A safety system called Positive Train Control (PTC) was not operational on the train in question, the president of Amtrak told reporters. Using GPS tracking, PTC automatically warns the driver of speed limits and other local conditions, and applies the train's brakes if the warnings are not heeded. Congress originally legislated for PTC to be installed by the end of 2015, but it is still not even halfway complete. The cost of implementing the system fully on all tracks and vehicles is reported to be more than $22 billion, £16 billion. Train 501 had left Seattle, heading south for Portland, at 6 o'clock local time, 1400 hours GMT. One passenger carriage could be seen dangling from the bridge, while others were strewn across the road and the wooded area next to the track. There were 86 people on board, including 77 passengers and 7 Amtrak crew members, as well as a train technician. Police say 19 people were taken from the scene uninjured.Of. The 72 transferred to hospital for evaluation. 10 were considered to have serious injuries. A recording of the train's emergency call to railway dispatchers was released to U.S. media. Emergency. We are on the ground. A man, possibly the conductor, radios in.In a second radio call. Another crew member reports that only the rear unit remains on the rails. All other cars appear to be on the ground in quite a mess, he says. The train's driver has a head injury, he tells dispatchers. President Donald Trump's first reaction to the derailment was to tweet that it showed the need for his forthcoming infrastructure plan. However, U.S. media outlets pointed out his submitted federal transportation budget actually proposed cuts to funding to national rail systems. Washington's governor has declared a state of emergency in 2 counties. Passenger Chris Carnes, on board the train, said his carriage had careered down an embankment then come to a stop. We could hear and feel the cars crumpling and breaking apart, and water came out from the ceiling. Quote, in order to get out.We had to kick out the emergency window, he added. Governor Jay Inslee said he was praying for the many injured. Officials set up a family reunification center at DuPont City Hall and asked people not to come to the scene of the crash. A local news reporter who was on the train, but got off at a stop just before the crash, said many of those on board were railway enthusiasts, keen to experience the first high-speed train on the new route. Every passenger was given a commemorative lanyard and badge to mark their journey, he said. An Amtrak official at the scene said the company would do everything in our power and spare no expense in supporting the passengers, employees and families affected. Are you in Washington? Did you witness the train crash? If it's safe to share your experiences, then please email bbc.co.uk. Please include a contact number if you are willing to speak to a BBC journalist.